Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever for a 5v5 custom game played on the map Pyramid. It is a classic, and of course, let's get into player introductions, starting with the Northern team, which is Team 1, and ending with the Southern team, which is Team 2, and we'll get right into player introductions, starting with the rear guard position for Team 1, a purple Cybran of 1200 rating fame, going first air by the name of Argon. Then we can go ahead and move to the west with the pink Aeon going first land, picking the best faction at 900 rating. His name is Adeli Rose. And then we can move over to the south with another purple colored Aeon. I mean, it's another Aeon, not another purple colored player. And of course, going first land, and their name is gonna be Waka at 1200 rating. Then right here next to him, to the north of him, we have ourselves a brown Cybran at 1500 rating, going first land by the name of Kalins. And last for Team 1, we have a maroon UEF going first air at 1000 rating, Drunk Warden. We can then go ahead and check on Team 2, starting with the rear guard position. Once again, a bright red Cybran going first air of 1000 rating fame called Duality. Then up to the east of them, we have ourselves a yellow Seraphim going first land at around 900 rating, and his name is Blazer of Lasher, or Blazer of Flasher. And he is a Seraphim, very ugly, first land. And then we can move over to the pink Cybran, going first land for Team 2 at 1300 rating. It is Itez Uxel. We're gonna call him Icarus. I don't. His name is Ike now. As we move on to the blue UEF, going first land at 1500 rating, it is OCA or Oka, and he is walking to the middle. And our last, but certainly not our least player, a white Cybran going first land, and his name is Gibberish, and he is 1300 rated. So we have Ike and we have Xavier. Ike and Xavier. That's what I'm gonna go with. And hopefully I remember that, because I'm not sure I will. And of course, we have to look at the rating range. We have everything from a 900 all the way up to a 1500, 92% balanced, and even mix between both sides. So should be a very fun little match to watch here. And in the middle, we already have a lot of comms getting here, already getting ready to reclaim up this area. Forward factory is going to be thrown down by Kalins and Oka, who want to get as much reclaim as possible. And then we have Waka just immediately grabbing up reclaim himself, as Ike is kind of being a bit AFK, and we have an early bomber coming out from Drunk Warden, and he's going to be able to pick up 2 engineers. Now we're going to be up to 4 engineers. He's going to get a lot of damage very early on from this investment. He's already paid itself off for sure, and oh no! Oh, it's a disaster. 5 engineers going down, 6 engineers going down to a single bomb. That's going to bring him all the way up to 10 kills. And this bomber is not done yet. It's going to go ahead and make its way back in towards the base of Duality, and it might be able to pick up 3 whole more engineers, but no. Doesn't quite manage it, but it could pass around once more and get damage and kills down onto power generators. And man, oh man, the early game is going rough for the Northern team. And the bomber will eventually be shot down. 4 ranks of veterancy. Maybe could have gotten 5. Is the wreck going to do enough damage? No, it doesn't even land on it. And with that, that's going to be quite painful for the Southern team. That's really going to slow down, in particular, Duality and Xavier. And of course, now Nano Repair on the way after getting both drone upgrades actually for Oka. And Ike's still just sitting here kind of AFK. Sent the comm forward and forgot about it, which is going to be bad for the southern team. They're really not getting that much reclaim out of this area. Oka is getting a lot of reclaim, but right now Kalen's already up to 5,000 reclaim, and the highest member of the southern team is only at around 3.4 thousand. So 2,000 reclaim lead for Kalen's alone is going to be quite brutal. And Ike over here dropping some engineers up to this top left-hand corner, trying to get some stuff done. Doesn't seem like he's going to get anything other than reclaim, but reclaim is very valuable. Here in the middle, Adeli Rose is currently fighting himself some units. Do we have anything spicy going on in chat? Yeah, no, we don't. Darn. Sadness. As speed is now on the way for Waka. We have a few upgrades finishing. Damage and range for Oka. Damage and range started, or speed started for Waka. Speed and range done for Blazer, way down here in the south. And range now on the way after Waka can finish that speed upgrade. And now we're going to see a few Mantis waltz their way in, kill off a Mex. That's very unfortunate for Adeli Rose. And Adeli Rose getting a lot of T2 mexes up very early. Overall economies for these teams, 40 mass a second, the leader right now, and that was for Waka, but Kalen's also up to 40 mass a second. Somewhere in the range is also Xavier, and then 35 for Ike, and everybody else is below them. And now we see that damage and range comm, or speed and range comm, fighting the commander of Xavier. But does have to be worried. There's a nano repair, damage and range, and drone comm over here for Oka. I wonder what those drones are doing. I don't currently see them anywhere. They might be, yeah, it looks like they're assisting somebody else getting an upgrade. It was something going on over there. But now Waka putting a lot of damage down onto that commander of Oka. Unfortunately, though, Oka has nano repair, so that damage is very short-lived. And he's going to start getting ranks of veterancy on top of it. First rank of veterancy comes in, already up to 56 health per second. And over here to the west, Adeli Rose dealing with a lot of spam that he doesn't really have an answer for, unfortunately. And down here to the southeast, Boudelet has sent his comm all the way over here. He's trying to get himself set up, the air player for the southern team in this corner, but he's not going to really be able to make anything happen there because there's already an entrenched position set up for Drunk Warden. And over in the middle of the map, Waka still trying to get aggressive with that commander, still trying to make things happen. Oka has fallen back, surprisingly. Has a lot of units. Surprised he's not going for an attack. I mean, most of them are indeed mech marines, but you could probably dive the comm of Waka, and it might be worth doing. As a PD goes up here in the middle for Xavier. Left drone now on the way for Drunk Warden. Already has damage and range. T2 on the way for Kalen's. Up here in the north, Adeli Rose not going for any upgrades. Speed and range has already been finished up for Blaze. So, yeah, the drones over here. Both drone upgrades going on for Drunk. Good to see the UEF using those drone upgrades. And Waka now getting caught out. And that's a lot of mech marines. Needs to get his own units in here and try and block the units of Oka, and Oka has already regenerated pretty much all of the damage that was done to him. Waka gonna be chased down. Sorry for coughing there. My throat is a little bit sore after casting other games earlier today. And Oka, he's trying to chase down Waka. Waka needs to keep getting around the edge of this cliff if he wants to survive. Oka kills off the entire army of Waka and could continue to walk forward, could possibly scalp that commander if he's lucky. And Waka about to go down, and oh no, it's a disaster now for the northern team. One of their most aggressive players and a 1200 rated player going down to the hands of Oka with that very heavily upgraded comm. And he puts into the chat, well, shit, is what he put there. And of course, down here in the south, we now have Drunk Warden and Blazero Flasher going at it. Both of them about half HP. Drunk Warden, he did have those drones. I think they both may have died, and I think he's rebuilding them right now, which is why his comm is eating 14 mass a second. But unfortunately for him, building this PD is a bit of a mistake. He should just keep fighting. He has the HP advantage, but the best he can hope for at the moment is a trade. He's not going to get a free kill there. And now Oka is pushing through the middle. It is a no-share game, something I failed to mention whenever Wukka died. So now this entire base, it's going to be taken over by Kalins, and he is going to get up some Cerberus to stop all of this, but unfortunately this leaves a huge vacuum in the middle of the map for the northern team. And now we're looking at quite the game. Oka gonna show up with a ton of mech marines, gonna try and pressure a Deli Rose, who is apparently a Russian female streamer, according to Icy Nightmare. By the way, this is casted live, so I do have a chat up. And sorry, I said he earlier, but it is in fact a she. It is a she, yes. So she's over here, hot pink, and I'll try and remember to get a link and throw it down into the description. And if I can do that, go check her out. Support FAF creators, whether they speak your language or not. Another great streamer is Eve, a German streamer. Does speak English very well. So if you're an English watcher and you show up and talk to him, he sometimes will respond in English to you and be very kind to you. And he's over on Twitch. Maybe I'll throw his link too. Just support all of the FAF creators. But before you do that, subscribe right now, like this video, hit the bell, turn on all notifications, because you all are so damn beautiful. And we have a drop from Ike going towards the main base of a Deli Rose, and she doesn't really have anything to deal with this. She is going to try and build up some PD, but she doesn't finish the PD, so oh no! The T2 Pigeons are almost assuredly going to go down unless these PD finish up, and the PD does finish up. The shield really saving a Deli Rose here as her damage was severely lowered, but that could have been a disaster. And up here to the north, Deli Rose cleaning up a run-by of rhinos. The alliteration is strong with this cast. And down to the south, there is a decent kind of situation forming for the southern team. We have Oka in the middle being incredibly strong, using mass mongoose, which I'm not too against. He's proven pretty adept at his unit control this game. So if he can continue to use these units effectively, I will be very happy to see him continue all of this. T3 Air has been achieved by Argon. Still hasn't built the T3 Pigeon. On the other side, T3 Air achieved, but no T3 Pigeon as well for Boudoulet. Both of them should get onto those T3 Pigeons very early, but no! He skipped the T3 Pigeon to get out a Strat Bomber, and this could be deadly towards the southern team. This could either be used to try and kill a commander, which in no share is much more valid, or it can be used to kill off a lot of economy. Gonna have to see which one this Strat Bomber goes for. Argon moving out with the Strat Bomber. First bomb seemingly going for a T2 mechs and some factories out from Blazer. And does manage to drop and get the damage done. Already up to 1,000 mass killed. Gonna drop another bomb. This one gonna land onto a factory and a mechs. Yet another bomb coming in. If he can kill the T2 power right here, it will be brutal. A ASF is rushed out of the factory, but the Strat Bomber gets just another mechs and is going to continue to go for mechs. Already has paid itself off, already has done more than enough damage to make this play worth it. The best thing he can do right now is drop a bomb and try and land it off map. Instead, though, going to land it inside the base of Xavier there. Up here to the north, tons of mongoose in the calm of Oka, along with a Mantis army out from Xavier, have cut a Deli Rose off from her own reinforcements, and now she is under threat of just being killed off. Oka has played so aggressively with this commander, but does need to be careful, as right now we could see some form of concerted effort to kill him, but he just has so much in the area. And even with this T2 air play out from Adeli Rose, I don't think she can build anything to deal with this. Adeli Rose now fighting off Rhinos and Mantis. Not sure if she'll be able to even kill all of this. And she is getting so low on HP right now. That Rhino is pouring damage into her. And is most likely going to survive this, but can she survive the Mongoose behind her, which are in her main base, starting to kill off all of her production, all of her factories, and oh no, it's a disaster. The Mongoose push in, and damage aplenty over here. The commander of Adeli Rose gets onto a transport and will be able to run away. But at what cost? A Monkey Lord has finished up, and oh no! Oka's gonna be caught out. The sooner that this commander goes down, the better for the northern team. If they can manage to kill it off before like this T3 mech goes down, if they manage to get this commander in time, that could be huge. Needs to focus the commander. This Monkey Lord needs to just be right-clicked onto the commander. Stop with lasering everything but it. Oh no! Why are you trying to get stomp damage? Just kill the ACU. And the ACU now going to be focused, but it's managed to get a bunch of overcharges down, and Oka gets to kill a Monkey Lord for free. Oh no, it's a disaster. He just had to right-click on the commander and it was dead. Oh, man. That was brutal. And now Oka is free to continue his reign of terror. Now he's gonna shift his focus over onto K-Lens. K-Lens does have a T2 comm and can overcharge some of these Mongoose. But it's not going to be too much of value here. That Monkey Lord could have been everything. And if this second one completes, I doubt Kalen makes the same mistake twice. But now this commander may have bitten off more than it can chew. That's a ton of Cerberus. And a commander. Sure, it's not a gun commander, and there's now T1 bombers coming in. Oka might just die and is getting blocked by Kalen's comm. And a Mercy comes in now from Adeli Rose. She's trying to pitch in. More bombers come out. The commanders are going to go down. Was that also the commander of Kalen's? No, Kalen's gets out. And Adeli Rose, with that Mercy, was probably enough to save the commander of Kalen's, who only managed to get out with about 4,000 HP to spare. And we'll have a Monkey Lord to show for it here in a second. But the southern side of the map is still incredibly strong. They control this entire west side. They lost a lot of production and a lot of power here, but this is easily able to be retaken by their team. There's not anything threatening them other than this upcoming Monkey Lord, and that'll take time to traverse the map. Over here to the east, a large army out of Blazer Flash is going to be inside this expansion for Duality. Oh wait, no, that's an ally. Sorry, the two reds had me thrown off. An attack coming out from Drunk Warden, almost destined to fail here. Duality able to hold on to that corner. And now the northern team, they do have a Monkey Lord completed. They do have Kalen's, who's on a very strong economy. But on the other hand, Xavier down here is on a very strong economy as well. And this game just swung so much so quickly. That was a roller coaster of emotions. And now Ras Commander is going to be built in mass by Kalen's. Sitting on two bases, having power struggles though. Yeah, building Ras Commanders with no T3 P-Gen is rough. Air overall seems to be advantage for the northern team. The air grids for both of the air players, in my opinion, are a little bit lackluster. And Argon moved the commander over here and is just kind of chilling. Rebuilding efforts coming out from Adeli Rose. She wants to get back into this game, wants to get out some units to help her team. Kalen's, on the other hand, just wants more eco. Wants to get a very strong eco, wants to use this Monkey Lord very effectively. But the key to this is there's a bunch of Corsairs over here, is gonna need air cover from Argon. And is gonna also need to choose its target wisely, as laser is done for Ike. And teleporter is on the way. And telemaser defense does exist right here for Kalen's, but Kalen's is a little bit hurt. And these Cerberus will take a while to chew through a commander. Kalen's needs to probably get more telemaser defense, if I'm completely honest. And now Ike is indeed done with that upgrade. And be surprised if he doesn't go for the teleport here soon. We'll keep him selected. ACU, ACU, both marked out. This might be enough PD to scare him away from this base, but he is now teleporting. Let's go to Observer. And here comes the telemaser. Which base is it going to go into? It goes into the base of Argon, and Argon starts walking away, but it's not. He's got a lot of Cerberus. He's got a lot of auto guns. Oh no! Miscalculation coming out from Ike leads to a trading of comms. Ike and Argon both go down. And the Monkey Lord now going to push in towards the base. And Boodle may not be able to hold this off. That's a lot of Corsairs, and they will do a lot of damage, but it's going to take time for this Monkey Lord to go down. Another Monkey Lord about to finish up for Xavier. That might be enough, but now there is no Air Force for the northern team to help deal with these Corsairs. And the Monkey Lord is going to go down to the Corsairs. Unfortunately, that leaves the experimental count for 1 to Team South and 0 for Team North. As right now, it's basically Kalen's economy versus all of the southern team, but you have to take into account that right now, Xavier is incredibly strong, sitting on the strongest economy in the game at over 300 mass a second. And unfortunately, just not enough teledefense. If those auto guns were built before he teleported in, or if he just had 5 more Cerberus, he probably survives that, but unfortunately Argon goes down. And of course, so does Ike. But Ike was not quite as valuable as that air player, and now Kalen's gonna be able to build up full T3 mexes in this backline very, very quickly. And that is going to be a huge value to them. Adeli Rose trying to get in on it, but can't really do so due to the same faction building bonus that currently Kalen's is abusing. So can just get in and try to get some reclaim. As over here to the east, the Monkey Lord is pushing forward. This base of Drunk Warden, who we haven't really talked about too much this game, now under threat. And Kalen's is going to quickly catch up to the economy of Xavier. And definitely has the build power right now to mass produce experimentals or even get into the air game themselves. Down to the south, the Monkey Lord presses forward. Does have a couple of bouncers to protect it. Not that air is really going to be much of an issue for it. And the Monkey Lord for Kalen's is pretty much the only opportunity they have to stop the enemy Monkey Lord, other than maybe Drunk Warden's Calm. But I don't think that will be the, I don't think we're going to have another miss micro of a Monkey Lord as bad as we saw earlier. And anti-nuke has already been loaded for Kalen's, preparing for the future. And in fact, it's going to be very useful as Xavier is about to go for a nuke launcher. Monkey Lord does finish up for Kalen's, and it does finish up in a timely manner, so the Monkey Lord out from Xavier, not really going to get too much value. It's not going to be able to push in and do too terribly much, because I'm sure Kalen's is going to just immediately send it right down here. And with that nuke building, you do have to ask if it's the right play. I'm not 100% convinced it is. He does have the massive majority of the economy on the map, so he could probably go for storing up nukes and try and outbuild an anti-nuke. But it seems unlikely. Maybe go for a snipe onto the anti-nuke. Is sitting on a lot of Corsairs right now. And the two Monkey Lords are very close to each other. Now Corsairs coming out of the factory for Kalen's. Gonna try and use those to help damage down the Monkey Lord, ensure that her Monkey Lord wins. Or his Monkey Lord. I don't know, Kalen's could be either or. And over here to the west, a Deli Rose trying to throw up some PD and trying to go for T3 air herself. Try and be the air player for the team, is being assaulted by Mass Mantis, but that's going to be dealt with by the Titans. Monkey Lord on Monkey Lord action over here. Unfortunately, the white Monkey Lord has taken damage from Corsairs, so it loses. And by a large margin, actually. So with that, Kalen's gonna be happy, but needs to make sure not to just throw it towards the enemy side. There's a chicken now on the way for Blaze, and Laser now on the way for Boodle. Just get that telemaser defense of having your own laser. Or may go for his own telemaser, if permitted. And now Xavier sitting on Game Ender level of mass, up to nearly 600 mass a second, and Kalen's caught on his heels with 400, and Kalen's is actively investing in infinite eco, going for Rascoms, and a lot of them. And the overall amount of air coming up from the northern team is rising, but Boodle still has a massive advantage with the fully developed air grid. 13,000 mass sent to Blazer, who is building that Yathoda, which I'm sure will help quite a bit. Teleporter now on the way for Boodle. This is a risky play. The better option for Boodle is quite honestly just sit back and maintain air control, as a ton of Corsairs now coming out. Is the nuke loaded? It's close. And the Corsairs gonna go for the Monkey Lord, and they will get it. But that could have been used to snipe the anti-nuke, which may have been a better play. Of course, would have to snipe both of them if you want to hit the main base of Kalen's. And now Blazer has finished the chicken, has got his Kentucky Fried Chicken ready to go. And now there is little that can be done to stop it, honestly. There's no Monkey Lord. There's nothing even in production that can stop that chicken. Other than a possibility of using air. But they don't have air control. Teleporter is still being built by Duality, but it's, as far as I can tell, being built passively. It's not throwing too much into it. The nuke is loaded. Did it fire already? If so, where? Did it get eaten by an anti-nuke? Seems as though it might have. I didn't even notice it. I could have sworn it was more produced than it is right now. Now Megalith on the way for Xavier. Kalen's kind of stuck at 400 mass a second. Drunk Warden going for a mass fab farm. And the chicken in the middle starting to push forward. Bricks out from Kalen's just trying to get attritional damage done across the map. One gonna be able to pick up a T3 Mex, which is huge value. Well, if the Corsairs don't have anything to say about it, that is. The Mass Corsair, a very big problem for the Northern team. And a boon for the Southern. This brick, I think, going back to try and kill off that T3 Mex, but I don't think it'll get it with the Corsair fire. And the ASF count, Duality only sitting on 47 versus Kalen's, who currently has 31, and Adeli Rose having a handful herself. This could go the way of Kalen's if the air micro is there, but unfortunately it seems like both sides are just going to be left with a lot of dead ASF, and fighting over that one Sam was really impactful there. Lots of Sams now going up for Kalen's, who is just trying to eco their heart out. And a Megalith about to finish up for Kalen's. Nuke launcher about to be loaded again. Is it going to just fire again? If it does, can it hit anybody? It can't hit Adeli Rose. It could theoretically hit Drunk Warden. Megalith finishes up for Xavier. And it's going to go for Adeli Rose, but she's just loaded, so there's no issue. And now Bricks and Titans are just showing up across the field, and Xavier doesn't really have that much land. I mean, he kind of stopped land production after T1 when he just sort of won land. But now he's being contested by Obsidians, Bricks, Titans, and they're going around and they're killing off a lot of his mexes. He's gone from 600 mass a second to about 550, and that's just going to keep going down. Another T3 mex about to die. Up to the north, all of these T3 mexes can just be killed off by something as simple as Obsidians. But over... where is that chicken firing? Over to the east, there's a chicken now encroaching on the territory of Team North. But unfortunately, there's a Megalith. And the Megalith will destroy the chicken quite easily. As a disruptor online for Kalen's, and Kalen's is just ecoed so well. Another Megalith finishes up for Xavier. Will slowly be able to go around and kill off all of these harassing T3 units, but not before they exact their pound of flesh. As you're going to see Titans killing off T3 mexes, Obsidians killing off T3 mexes. Lots of economic damage being done here. And the air game, all three players on the Northern team are participating in the air game. A GC now on the way for Adeli Rose. And down here to the south, Duality does have teleporter done, which just makes me anxious that Team 2 is just going to lose all of their air production here soon, which would be brutal. Duality has managed to keep air control this entire game, at least since Argon went down. But the air grid for Kalen's is growing rapidly, and the other players being involved in Air 2 doesn't hurt, as a ton of Corsairs are going to show up over here on the eastern flank. Double Chicken already beats Megalith, but the Corsairs make it a certainty. And the Titans killing off T3 mexes up here along with Obsidians. Lots of economy has just been lost for Xavier, and now he's close to the same economy that Kalen's has. And here in the middle, the double Megalith gonna push in, and Double Chicken could threaten on the eastern flank. But there's so many Corsairs banked up for both sides that Experimentals will take a huge beating from either side's air control. And another Megalith done, just mass Megalith coming out from Xavier. And there's really not any kind of appropriate response on the northern side for that. And Kalen's should be able to see 2 Megaliths, 2 Chickens, needs to get involved in Megalith production again, and does do so, reclaiming the Disruptor, deciding that you can't afford it, need Experimentals, and need them now. Only players who can really afford to try and go for something like that are the players who aren't heavily invested in land. And with the double Megalith pushing in the middle, you have to put the Corsairs on it at some point. But now, with 4 Experimentals concentrated here, I think Kalen's is just trying to buy as much time as possible. A GC is going to finish for a Deli Rose, and she could send it south to try and help. And it would be a massive help. Corsairs come in, the first pass is going to go well. That first Megalith pretty much going to almost die to just that pass from the Corsairs. But unfortunately, this is going to be a one-time option. First Megalith is down, so now it's a Megalith and 2 Chickens versus soon-to-be 2 Megaliths. It's a lot of bricks being thrown in as well. And Kalen's is currently killing off a chicken. Another chicken could go down. This Megalith going to be sitting on pretty heavy veterancy here in just a moment, and that other chicken has to run away from its allies' Ion Storm. The first Megalith for Kalen's is getting so much value. That's another chicken down, and now it's 2 Megalith versus 1, and that's just going to go one way. And Kalen's, with the use of those Corsairs, with the clever use of the Megalith, has made up for the Monkey Lord disaster early on, as the late game Megalith micro has just gone beautifully. And now there's going to be a GC showing up. There's going to be 2 Megaliths, a GC just chilling and ready to go and push forward. I mean, sure, experimental spam may be coming out. The nuke launcher was reclaimed by Xavier. Decided they were tired of wasting mass on it. Another Megalith going to be built up. It just doesn't seem like Team 2. It seems like Team 2 with that push just lost all momentum in the game, losing 4 experimentals and not even killing a singular enemy experimental. There's no other way to put it. It's a disaster. Kalen's with a beautiful defense there. And sure, there are still 2 Megaliths over here out to the western side, but they're outnumbered now. And there's now a Czar on the way. And Duality lost all of their air for that. Oh no, they still have air. Looked like it for a second. Any standoff technology coming out from the southern team? Behind that push, they could have gone for something like a disruptor, but they didn't decide to. And I'm quite happy for it. I like the big land experimental fights. This game has been like a seesaw with the amount of swings involved. A roller coaster of emotion for both sides. And Kalen's back to building the disruptor. Kalen's deciding, hey, I defended the land, and I still have enough sitting at home to defend what's left. Just let me play defensively, let me get up that standoff technology, and I'll be able to get some damage done on the other side of the map without having to risk leaving mass on their side. Air fight about to break out over here. Kalen's has quite the air force, but still not enough. The air force of Drunk Warden has evaporated. Overall reclaim numbers, Kalen's leading the pack at 130,000, quickly followed at 110,000 from Xavier. And the air fight going on here. Seems as though Kalen's took a really good turn and then had to run away. But there's so many SAMs in this area that you can see these ASF, when they're not attended for just a second, when Kalen's pulls them into the SAM grid, it's just so brutal. You're watching ASF die to so many SAMs here. And now this Megalith is just going to be able to chase down the enemy Megalith. And there's a GC here as well. The DPS onto that enemy Megalith is going to be massive. Corsairs come in, but it won't matter. Corsairs for Kalen's come in. And no experimentals are going to go down for the northern team. And that's another Megalith dead for the southern side, leaving them with just one Megalith remaining, and a massive effort to gain air control for Xavier, building a huge air grid. But the disruptor is done, and I feel like this is the prime target. There's not really shielding, and even the shields that are there aren't powered. He's power stalling. And Kalen's has just been a stalwart player for Team North. Is making everything happen for the team, and rightfully so, after taking all of the mexes from the dead allies. And now we see a concerted effort. The southern team has many players playing air, but Kalen's is trying to fight them all by themselves, pretty much. I mean, there's players on the north side with air units, with ASF, but they don't have concerted production. A Duke now on the way for Drunk Warden, gonna try and help with the standoff tactics. The disruptor is firing relatively quickly and is gonna be able to fire into this, but now shielding is gonna go up very quickly for Xavier. Down to the south, Kalen's now pushing with T3 land units, trying to get rid of any mass production they possibly can. This northwest corner was pretty much wiped out. Now there's a Tsar out onto the field, and I don't know if the southern team has enough ASF. I mean, they definitely do, but not with a fight between these sides. Lots of assistance onto the air production here for Drunk Warden. A SCU goes down somewhere down here in the south. With the chicken gonna clean up this brick attack out from Kalen's pretty easily. And the two Megalith here for Kalen's in the middle are pushing forward, but the issue is that's a ton of strat bombers that are gonna come out, and most likely they're gonna be targeted onto those Megalith. Kalen's needs to react with air and react swiftly. A lot of damage down onto that Megalith just out of nowhere. And the Strat Bombers are going to start killing off those Megalith. This Megalith is already dead. You can't outrun a Megalith with a Megalith. The air fight breaks out. Kalen's had more than any of these other three players, but maybe not more than them combined. This Megalith with 3 ranks of veterancy is going to go down. At least it goes down somewhat close to the front, to the lines of Kalen. And the Strat Bombers overextend and get shot down. 78,000 HP versus 110,000, but there's a lot of regeneration in play there. And Corsairs are going to come in. And if Kalen can win an air fight here, if they can get air control, this Tsar could be huge. Would love to see the Tsar used as a mobile SAM right now. Just keep it at the edge of its range fighting the ASF. But a Deli Rose not really having the APM to make that happen. Gonna go ahead and take a drink. Make sure to stay hydrated, everybody. As both Megalith go down for the northern team, so does the air grid for Xavier. We don't talk about it much. Standoff tactics aren't very fun to watch, but this Disruptor able to just continuously fire and deal damage. 41,000 mass killed. Looking like a good investment at the moment. A Duke still on the way for Drunk Warden, but very slowly. And another Disruptor about to finish up for Kalen's. And on the other side of the map, we have a Hovathom installation for Blazer, but I can't imagine that goes up, especially if it's scouted. As of the moment, it's not been seen. That could be a bit scary. Boodle could start building mass experimental here on the front line. Or just another air grid. Megalith in the middle for Xavier. It's down to 12,000 HP, but it doesn't look to be going down anytime soon. Corsairs could just come out and kill it if you had enough. And every time ASF stray just a little bit too far, they chase a unit in. They run into all of these SAMs. They run into the aircraft carrier, which has already killed 6,000 mass worth of air units. And they get huge attritional damage. Even these Strat Bombers that are built up right now for Xavier would have a hard time with anything but a direct route towards Kalen's comm. And now, with that Disruptor complete, another one queued up. The Duke is going to be built eventually as well, and the artillery eventually will get to the point where it's a concerted effort. I mean, this is a lot of hives, but 3 or 4 artillery shells landing at the same time will take this down. I would like to see this focus still thrown onto Xavier. SCU goes down in the south. Fat Boy for Drunk Warden could be significant. Lots of chickens out on the map right now for Blaze. A big air fight over here. Xavier threw all of his air in for something. He threw it all in right before sending out the Strat Snipe. And the Strats, are they going to be able to make it through? Here they come. Is it enough to kill off the commander? How many will drop their payload? Most of them will. And Kalen's goes down. Oh no, it's a disaster. And with that, almost assuredly, Team 2 has snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. The mass generation going from relatively even to a 700-800 mass generation lead. And that means that the Southern team with one snipe manages to undo 40 minutes of work out from Kalen. Kalen puts in the chat, damn, should have had more Sams. Argon says, you did your best, it's okay. We still love you. Kalen says, I hate myself. I'm so sad. And man, is my voice giving out on me. I'm starting to have that trouble where it's like, ugh, voice wants to stop working. But the Tsar is trying to go in. There's not really a lot of Sams, but there is a decent number of ASF still, and the Tsar goes in and gets almost nothing for its troubles. And Double Chicken is about to push in over here in the west. And I think it's all over but the singing. We're going to go ahead and speed up the game to whatever it'll let us, +7. Strat Bombers coming in for a Deli Rose. And a Deli Rose goes down, and then they switch over to Drunk Warden. It'll take a little bit longer. He's a harder nut to crack, but he goes down as well. Thank you all for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video if you like this. Share it to your FAF friends. You all are so beautiful. Thank you to the patrons and channel members. In case you didn't know, you can support the channel further, kind of fiscally support the channel if you so desire, and you get certain benefits from emotes in chat to getting access to every video early, depending on your tier with channel membership with the join button down below, or the link in the description to the Patreon where you can get your name at the end of every video. You all are beautiful. My name is Willow, signing off.